Tragedy struck the opening ceremony of a bomb disposal school in Manchester this week, as the mayor accidentally cut the wrong ribbon. Prime Minister Gordon Brown, who is currently visiting Washington, sought to continue Tony Blair's special relationship with the United States by bending over and actually letting George Bush shag him up the arse. It was announced on Thursday, after criticism by regulators about dishonesty on television, that bosses have renamed I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. It's now called You've Never Heard of Me, Get Me All Wet and Covered in Bugs Until I Cry and Hug Everyone, and then disappear into obscurity and end up face down in a rent boy. Speaking in Strasbourg on Wednesday, the President of France said that English speakers were arrogant in their refusal to learn foreign languages. At least, that's what we think he said. It just sounded like... Scientists confirmed on Friday that scallies find it physically impossible to ride bikes that are big enough for them. Professor of Scalology and Robbing at the University of Kiel, Gary Spoiler, said, "We tested 300 rat-faced twats in shell suits." The world of show business was rocked to its foundations on Friday when Paris Hilton admitted she was a hotel. Pop boozer Amy Winehouse has become the first person in history to be sued for theft by a horse. It wants its face back. And now, disaster-prone politician Boris Johnson has been criticised by disability groups after saying that he sometimes was a bit of a spaz. He said, "I deeply regret any offence my comments have caused. I can't believe I've been such a fucking mong." Quality family bakers Greggs are to follow in the footsteps of McDonald's and KFC by offering customers a Happy Meal for children. It will include a pasty, a fag, a tub of Bostik, and a crisp bag. A report by the Priory Clinic reveals today that millions of British women suffer from low self-esteem, which adversely affects their relationships, job prospects, and mental health. Their spokeswoman, what's her name, the fat one? She really smells, big head. Well, fuck it, forget it. On Friday, the holder of the Guinness World Record for hide and seek was found dead in the woods near his home in Sandbach. A report from the University of Stafford says that gossiping is good for you. Professor Nick Elmler said gossip is a fundamental human activity, as it is essential to understand and keep track of people who inhabit our social world. He said that despite knocking off one of his students behind his wife's back. Some people have no shame. No shame. Finally, a Polish plumber in Northwich was this week the first immigrant to be sent on a course to teach him to be more British. His instructor, Mrs. Gladys Pepys, said, "At the graduation ceremony, he failed to turn up, even though we waited in for him all day. When he did arrive, he asked me to make him a cup of tea with 10 sugars. Then he went for a 10-minute shit in the bog. We couldn't flush it for 2 days. He got top marks."
So it's nice to be here. My name's Jamie, and I'll be on till about 2 o'clock, and then there's a bus coming, and we're all going dogging. So you can obviously be the designated driver. That'll be nice. That's all right, mate. Good stuff. So it's good. I just got back from a place called New Orleans in America, which is great, and we were doing a charity function, raising money for all the people that were victims of that Hurricane Katrina, right? And the place is still a mess, right? I'll be honest with you, but I thought, well, I'll take the job, you know what I mean? Treat it like a bit like a holiday. So me and my mate, we were stood there in the street, had my white shell suit on, taking in the sun, milking it up big time. And then this American copper came over, and he started chatting to us. And he went, "Hey, guys." I said, "All right, mate." He said, "Where are you guys from?" I said, "We're from Liverpool." And he goes, "Hell yeah. And what state's that in?" I said, "Fucking worse than this, mate." When I'm a young dad, I didn't realise there's rules with young dads. There's what you can and what you can't do. Apparently these days, right, you can't even give your kids a little smack. How bad's that? Not even a couple of grams to help them sleep. That's not right, is it? You know, and kids are getting bigger as well because they're all on the PlayStations, on the computers, watching the TVs and all that. I've got a nephew, right, our George. Now, first things first, right, he's called George because my sister got knocked up round the back of the Asda. No, she was a dirty girl, my sister. You know what I mean? I mean, when she was younger, I found a pair of her knickers, and on the label, it said Next. Or was it Gap? I'm not sure. No, it's good, yeah. So our George, right, age 9, 15 stone. 15 stone, age 9. And I said, George, what's going on, son? And he said, I just like the occasional sweet. I said, fucking 3-piece sweet, George, lad, come on. Well, my sister said he's so big because he's an only child. I said, well, he shouldn't have ate his brother and sister then, should he? I started encouraging him out as well, getting him out, playing games, telling him that tracksuits aren't for leisure, they're for getting out and enjoying yourself and running around, not sitting there eating pizzas and kebabs, watching Trisha and all that. Started getting him out playing games like some of us older ones played when we were kids. Knock and run. Huh? Yeah, or parcel force as we call it these days, right? Hide and seek. There's a good game, isn't it? I said, we'll have a game of hide and seek. I said, make it easy for you, George. I'll do the counting, you do the hiding. In the back garden, I'm like that. 1, 2, 3. Fuck it, George, lad. You're behind the shed, son. You're sticking out both sides. Come on, let's just go to Pizza Hut, you tubby lad.